どうもこんにちは。シャーロック・ホームズをやっていこうと思います。そろそろ最後の事件と思われる。
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
We have. Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet.
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret police of Baker Street, invite you, Sherlock Holmes, and Dr. Watson to our annual dinner. Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice. And it goes on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
Oh, we can't go there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children.
Oh,
Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Mr. Holmes is my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
And forget about the dinner? Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
役に立つからな、キッズは助けておかないと。前回の手紙ですね。植物は殺害凶器になる。大事件、異国風殺人、有毒植物が、現代凶器の種類に追加されるかもしれない。若き美しい女性が旧植物園の同僚と共同して、園長のモンタギュー男子殺害を企てた。単なる心臓発作で処理された悲劇の事件の裏に隠された真実。それを明らかにすることができたのがたった一人の探偵だった。その探偵の名はシャーロック・ホームズだ。当たり前だよな。
Holmes, poor little Wiggins needs our help.
せやな。先に犯行現場の方行っとくか。レイトン教授はどうなるんでしょうか。謎を解く立場ではないのでしょうか。
Holmes, poor little Wiggins needs our help.
ちょっと待ってね。マップ外かーい。こっちか。おー、くれ。バイオも抹茶を。ここか。
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving. Who were the victims?
The 2 men here, both shot. The stat fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were two other witnesses who said they saw the killer chap. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the two victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow Chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the two dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by two police constables.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
What were the fireworks in honour of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, I appear to have lost track of the days. It is May now, of course.
間違ってたよ。
Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
買っていいよ。
A fairly long pole with a four... He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant. The bullet penetrated his stomach, a dreadful wound.
ダイイングメッセージとか残さそうだけど。
A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there. Brian Vercotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
しょうがないね。ギャグみたいな倒れ方してんな。まあこれやろね。
A piece of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look. This shard of wood is quite new. The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
しゃあなしやね。最後の鍵出てきた。
This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
ブオーンだった。もう一回でこ
A
れじゃねえ
fairly
の。
long pole with a four...
まあいっか。
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes.
首
Are
相
you
の
that
心がけだ。
detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And well, I know things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story? Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies.
殺
And there
後
was
死
a
体があっ
man
て
with a
な
gun
ー
who
って
was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking
Right, right.
around.
ありあり、これ忘れてたわ。いつもの。はげビッコン引いている。放送禁止用語では。退役軍人か。
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the Half Moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
でも窓の外には誰もいなかったって言ってたよな。
I'll do anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
ん今何でもするって言ったよね。あとおばあちゃんだっけ。おばあちゃん。こんにちは。
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
お
My
ばあ
name
ちゃん
is
じゃね
Sherlock Holmes.
え。
I'm
失
assisting the
礼。
police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed
花
those.
を売っている。
But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand.
これマジ
He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
なるほど。
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
そんななんか花火ってそんなもん、そんなやべえ感じ
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
偉いね。商売人の鏡だ。
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
切り返していけ。チェイス技術を磨いていけ。切り返しで。
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your...
うるせえ。消しちゃった。間違った。まあだろうね。あとはスコットランドヤードか。行きましょう。ただなんか人相の判断するやつが、さっきの人の退役軍人とかね。あれがなんか一人しか出てないんだよね、今のとこ。少なくない
Mr. Holmes, whatever brings you here so late at night?
I'm interested in the case of young Leighton Chapman. He was arrested earlier this evening and accused of a double murder.
I beg your pardon? That case is quite clear to the police. Or are there any new facts that we don't know about?
Who knows, Inspector?
Look, you are free to investigate, of course, Mr. Holmes. Chapman was arrested with a revolver in his possession, which you can find in the evidence room. The suspect himself is in custody.
Did you find anything else on his person?
A few personal belongings. Nothing particular, Mr. Holmes.
どうせあんだろ、特
Thank
別な
you,
もの。
Lestrade.
シャアの野郎
A cheap watch, bought with his own money, no doubt.
そういうこと言うな。
These cigarettes are filled with cheap tobacco. Nothing interesting.
Cheap tobacco って言う
So this is the gun that Leighton was holding when he was caught by the police. It is a Webley revolver, a reliable weapon. It seems as though the shells were not removed from the cylinder.
俺のリロードはレボリューションだしてないわけね。怖い。んあ、そういうこと
2 out of the 6 shells have been fired. There were 2 shots.
そやな。レイトン教授質問するか。
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Good evening, Mr. Chapman.
Who are you? I've got nothing to say. It's all a mistake.
Calm down, Leighton. I have come here to help you. To find out if you truly are
そうだ
innocent,
ぞ。
as your younger brother Wiggins has told me.
My brother? You know him? Then that means you're...
Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, blimey. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell you everything.
いいぞ。印象が上がるぞ。喧嘩っていうレベルの傷か向こう水。自慢の技やな。え事務員あー、だいぶ下に出てたな。あら悪やな。
Good. Tell me your account of what happened.
I left my work and I hurried up to see the fireworks in Whitechapel. I was late, so I decided to cut through Half Moon Street. I saw the first fireworks light up in the sky. I bumped into a constable on a corner before entering Half Moon. Then suddenly, what with all the firework flare, I saw 2 men.
なるほど。
They were both lying flat in the middle of the street. I stopped where I was. I thought about turning back to the police, but as I was thinking of that, I saw a third person.
おっと
He was leaning over the body that was furthest from me. The second I saw him, he raised his head, and he stared at me. In a flash, I saw his gun,
おっと
but he made a dash for it instead, and he escaped through Whitechapel Street.
So you might still have had time to return to the constable.
I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Anyway, I approached the bodies just to see if they were still
まあ
alive.
まあまあまあ。
I saw that one had blood pumping out of his stomach. He was dying. It was horrible. The second one was already dead. He had a hole in his head. He was holding a gun in his hand, though. I took it.
なぜかってなんだよ、なぜかって。
Interesting. Pray, continue.
I turned a corner, and I saw the man standing in the middle of the street. He seemed to be in some sort of panic. And then,
Panic.
Mr. Holmes, something strange happened. I told the police and they laughed at what I
Nani?
said, but I swear to you, my words are true.
言うてみや。
I started running towards him. But then I was blinded by a flash. It was so bright that I hardly saw anything for a good dozen seconds. But I kept running forward. As I arrived in Whitechapel, I heard a woman screaming. And then I was caught by the police.
どんだけ近くで
There
花火
wasn't
や
a
ってんだ
trace
よ。
of that man.
くらまねえ
Of
だ
course,
ろ。
then they found a gun and all that blood. I couldn't see the murderer escaping and all that mess. Perhaps I was still half-blinded at that moment.
A thrilling account, my young man.
ゾクゾクするね。
Layton,
いくか
are you able to describe the person whom you saw standing in Half Moon Street?
どんな人
Well, I wasn't able to see his face at all. It
影
was
は
too
見ましたよ、
dark,
言われてもな。
and he was too far away. I could see his silhouette.
And what about that?
Nothing so special. He was wearing
直
a
樹を着てい
jacket.
た。
He was quite average in size and his weight.
I see. Was there anything else that struck you at the time?
No. But perhaps it's strange, but I can't remember the sound of his footsteps as he was running away. Perhaps it was because of the fireworks or the surprise of me seeing him.
いまいち容量ええねえ
Layton,
な
I。confess I am puzzled. Why should a young lad like you take a gun from the hands of a dead man
そうだね。
and set off in
またもか、お
pursuit
前
of a
は。
probable killer?
I know. I keep wondering that, but at the time it was like a reflex. A criminal ought to be arrested.
犯
And
罪
he
者
was
は言うなよ。
armed.
You were willing to risk your life. That was a little foolish, unless you wanted revenge.
No, Mr. Holmes. I was just being brave and stupid.
うるせえ。
I'm sure that you were, but I believe that you may have recognized one of the victims, Brian Vercotti. You knew that gentleman well, did you not?
However could you know that?
You have a typical tattoo of the Westgate Brotherhood upon your hand. I observed exactly the same mark
Yeah.
upon Mr. Vercotti. You came to know him from your sharing a past prison sentence. Am I correct,
正
Mr.
直に
Chapman?
話せ。
God. You're right, Mr. Holmes.
Would you tell me a little about Brian Vercotti?
We were convicted
ブ
for
ー
a
コッティな
robbery.
のかバーコッティなのかどっちよ。
Once in prison, both of us joined one of these fraternities. During that year, we tried to help each other out, you know?
You were quite young then, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we were. We'd only stolen a pound of meat.
なるほどね。
After we were released, and when I saw what my little brother had become, I decided to work towards living an honest life.
And Vercotti?
He had a hard time. His sister had died in a Whitechapel dispensary while he was in prison.
あら。
He had no family anymore. Our paths split. He fell back into crime.
So you lost him.
Yes. And for around 2 years, I heard no news of him at all.
最近じゃねえか。
We shall see you soon, young man.
なるほどね。おうせやな。せやな。せやな。そこなんかここはちょっと怪しいとこあるよね。ああ、回転式拳銃は2回撃たれてるってことね。この空薬鏡と。せやな。じゃあ見ていくか。食い違う真実。ターナー氏は警察が到着するまでずっと窓のそばにいたと述べた。しかしマロー巡査は窓のそばには誰も見なかった。彼らの真実は食い違っている。せやな。個人的な動機。レイトン・チャップマンがハーフムーン通りで犯した暴力犯罪には何か個人的な動機があった。決めつけてるね。説得力がある証拠。目撃者の証言と所持していた凶器が一人の可能な犯人を明らかに示している。レイトン・チャップマンだ。まあそうだね。二人を殺害したケネス・バトラーとブライアン・バーコッティ殺害は一人の人物によって行われた。どうなんすかね、それ。架空の人物。レイトン・チャップマンの真実にあった男は、 自分の潔白を証明するために彼が作り上げた架空の人物。早くない？精神異常認定。まあ選択肢系は後でね、置いておこう。そやな。違う。指ガバガバか。まあ出てきたら架空の人物じゃなくなるんだろうね。どこだっけ？こっちか。暗いなぁ。
What's up with you, lad? What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for my brother to be released.
Your brother?
The one that you caught, beat up and imprisoned.
Ah, the murderer.
He ain't killed no one, copper.
Watch your mouth, lad, else you'll be joining that worthless brother of yours.
ディストピアかよ。
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel. We could have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
Allow me to form my own theories, Mr. Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
おいおい。家に男をあげんのか？
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly.
いいっすか、家宅捜査。
This fire is dying out.
なんか燃えとる。
The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here.
3枚綴りか。
These words are illegible. The papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
危ねえだろ、外に出すんじゃねえよ。燃えかすをよ。常識ねえのか。あ！
A perfect match. So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
ああ、もうこれは確定的に明らかですね。どこやったの破片今。
The books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
実に退屈な事件だった。
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
ほんまかいなぁ。だって、出てんすよ、証拠。おじちゃん。おじちゃん、出てんすよ。証拠がね。
This kitchen knife is quite sharp.
なんか危ないなぁ、なんか。大丈夫。
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
おめえだよ。ピッ。
So, That's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window.
奴の見た景色か。
The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
じゃあなるほどね。えああ、そういうことか。まあそうだよね。ここからは、ちょっと杖がないといけないもん。窓を開ける。違う。邪魔や。ゴースト邪魔。死体に近づく。髪を切る。違うな。こうだ。どうぞー。ああ、最初からなった。ちょっと外しちゃった。ミスんな。よいしょ。よいしょ。カモン。早送りしていけ。せやな。Go.
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find? I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book. Let us take a closer look.
コミックエローか?
Well now, what a find! A precious jewel, concealed inside a book. A bracelet with a unique ram's head design, a distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
パクってった。じゃあおしゃれだからこれは俺がつけるの？ああ、おめえよ、こら。こら。
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Time can pull tricks on you.
なんか、この人の声、前にいなかった？前の事件かなんかに。
And what of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
嘘つけ。すごい勢いでなんか嘘ついてるけど、この人大丈夫？何の偽りもない。まあ、だろうね。遊んだ。
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
Mr. Turner,
じゃ
you
あこ
are
れは
not
なんだ
sincere with me.
おい
Not
ハゲ
then, and not now.
殺されてんか、お
Mr.
前。
Holmes,
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window, as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I
いや
didn't do、
悪い
anything
ことはして
bad.
るよ。
I'm just a poor man.
悪いことし
When
て
I
んのよ。
chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that.
犯罪者だよ。
Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
こいつあれか、勲章持ちだし、ネットで噂の上級国民ってやつかこいつ。どう見ても下級の貧民層だけど。なるほど。調べろと。怖いね。今のうちに証拠を整理しとくか。できねえわ。間違えた。芸術。
That is not the one I need.
あれギリシャじゃないんだ。差し入れを。ドクロと2本の骨を交差した図形。これではないね。羊羊気になる証拠いっぱいあるから読みたいんだけどな、ここら辺のやつ。こっちかな。気になるの多いよ。何わかんねえ。どれだ？あ、これだ。これらの美しい、骨董宝飾品は、ヘレニズムの宝が所蔵する代表作の一部である。腕飾り、首飾り、そして指輪には、5個の大角羊の頭が描かれている。宝石はどれも純金製。こうか。ミティリーニの5頭の羊は1885年に行方不明になっている。これ完全にあれじゃん。身につけてたら不思議な能力に目覚めて。それがお前以外に、あと、何人いるぜ。なんかヘレニズムがどうこうっていうのは調査資料にあった気がする。なかったわ。どっちか。 あれ？あった。大胆な泥棒。昨晩、ヘレニズムの芸術作品が、大英博物館からグラスファード美術展覧会への輸送中に盗まれた。宝を乗せた辻馬車が襲われたのである。チャーチ通りにある質屋の主人、ケネス・バトラーがその日、歴史的芸術作品の一組を彼の店で売ろうとしていた男がいたと、スコットランドヤードに情報提供した。警察は、彼から得た犯人像の男を捉えたヴィンセント・フォーリーという名の、窃盗常習犯で、ロンドン港から脱出を試みようとしていたところだった。ヘレニズムの芸術作品を輸送した辻馬車の運転手がこの男を確認した。ヴィンセント・フォーリーは、残りの作品の隠し場所を白状しなかった。最終的に、強盗罪で投獄された。失われた宝はまだ見つかっていない。ケネス・バトラーって死んだ人だよな。
Here it is. One of the victims, Kenneth Butler, was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures. A visit to his pawn shop should tell me more.
なるほどね。質屋に行こう。まあ、といったところで、今回は終わりです。まあ、ちょこちょこ様子を見て刻んでいくんで、キリのいい感じのところでね。それじゃあまたバイバイ